reached right now for the first time this year. What's the vibe been like around this game?
You know, we had a good practice yesterday. We had guys come in and do some work in the morning too, so I was encouraged by the attitude of our guys in terms of, and I thought we had a good practice.
So Carter only played a handful of minutes last game. Why was that the case?
You know, he had a really good game offensively, especially against South Carolina. In that game the other day, he made a couple of defensive mistakes. One was, something we had talked about. We were trying to get more help side, but we were at a 4-point lead. We gave up a wide open 3 on a play where there just wasn't the sense of urgency that needs to be defensively for us to have success. And then, put him back in and had another opportunity where he actually had a chance to take a charge and got out of the way of the guy and fouled the guy. And so those aren't winning plays that are going to help your team win, and that's what we have to understand. If we're going to win, it starts at that end doing tough things. And I was really excited yesterday, for example. He had a really good charge that he took in practice. Created some steals defensively, had 3 defensive rebounds, so he responded. And I talked to him about it yesterday in the morning in our morning workout. So I was pleased with how he responded because offensively, obviously, he really helps us.
Did you see a difference with the team as far as with Ready on the court?
In the last game? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I still thought like IJ is just getting back to form. I mean, it definitely helped us because his knowledge of the game, his communication skills, the experience that he brings to our team is something that we've really been needing and lacking. And so, like yesterday, he had a good practice. Yesterday, you could see he's a lot further along than he was, when we played our last game.
When you're in a stretch like this, as a coach with such a young team, how do you approach it? Do you kind of keep things positive, with such a young team?
Yeah, I'm not going to, we point out the obvious things. And, you look at both of our last 2 games, we could have won either one of those games. It's not like, we got blown out of those games or never had a chance. I mean, each game in the last 6 minutes is tied. We had the ball twice at 30-23 in the first half at Georgia, and missed a 3 that probably should have shot baked and drove. Had a turnover. We had opportunities to get that open to a 9 or 10 point lead, which ended up being a 4-point lead. Luckily for us, with a last second really nice pass from IJ to EJ. That being said, the game was tied at 54 all with a little over 6 minutes to go, and give Georgia credit, they were dominant inside in the second half, and us not getting the line in both games was really a problem. But we're not that far away. It's not like I'm killing these guys because they're not competing, or they're. We've only had one game where I felt really bad that way, and that was the Ole Miss loss on the road. These guys are, they're right there, and we've just got to keep battling.
What challenges? Obviously, Florida's very talented, but what some specific challenges do they present?
Well, they're super athletic. So I mean, just matching up with them in terms of the guards, Kevon Allen, Casey Hill. Casey Hill's a senior, really having a great year. The point guard that comes off the bench is having a great year. The Italian name, how do you say his name? Starts with a C. He's good. He's a good player. They're 3s and 4s. I mean, Leon is really a good shooter and stretches the floor well for him. Robinson is an incredible athlete. They've got a very talented team with a lot of depth. Obviously, Barry has added a lot. The 5th-year transfer from Charleston, Barry's son, he had 30 in their last game at Auburn. So he's a real good scoring player. Is their leading scorer coming off the bench. There's a lot of guys who are tough to match up with.
You mentioned the depth that Florida has. How does the injuries that they've had, does that change the makeup of them at all?
Yeah, losing their big kid was a tough injury for them moving forward, especially as you look for their NCAA tournament run that they'll have. But they have, the Hayes kid steps in right behind him. I mean, it just takes some depth away. But he was big, strong, having a very good year. feel bad for the kid who actually played. It was at Auburn. He went up to block a shot and came down and landed on one leg, but it looked like the player from Auburn, I think it was number 5, stepped on his foot. So it just kind of, I don't know what it did, but that would cause that to happen. But it's just a tough break. You know, you never want to see someone get hurt and you have to go through an ACL. That's brutal.
This is one of the better defensive teams in the conference. What do you see in their system?
You know what they do is they switch 1 through 4 a lot. So, you know, because they're athletic and really cover ground, they switch ball screens 1 through 4. They'll switch all handoffs. They get out and pressure you. But they have great length. When you see their length, they're very long, and they cause problems. They're very good in transition offense, and they're a great offensive rebounding team.
Is that it?
What have you kind of said, you know, to help, you know, obviously Q's struggled a little bit here lately. What have you kind of, how have those conversations been with him being such a competitor, obviously?
Yeah, you know, Q came in and got extra work in yesterday and put time in. I thought he had a good practice. You know, he talked about, you know, a couple of his turnovers in the last game. When he penetrates, he's always looking just inside, where typically when you're penetrating, you want to look out and, you know, draw everybody and collapse and kick it back out to other guards. So it's just, you know, part of that's the learning part. You know, his foul trouble has been a problem because it gets him off to a start where he's kind of having to be less aggressive, and we got to, you know, he's got to just learn from that. But he, you know, late in the game, he had a key turnover for us in the last game, and as I watch it, you know, he was going too fast, which is why he stepped on the guy's foot. So, you know, the guy's foot is why he went down. I didn't realize that during the game, but it was actually, you know, coming down on someone's foot that threw him off balance. When it was 58, 56, we had the ball, with, you know. And that's learning about time and score, and again, that still, you know, speaks to our inexperience of getting better at understanding time and score.